Let's be honest here. Let's be brutally honest about everything that is going on, and we'll open up the lines on this now. What do the Labour Party actually stand for? A Labour government right now will be about as welcome as measles. I think I speak for everybody. But this particular Labour Party it's kind of the worst of all scenarios. When look back to this. When Tony Blair pitched up in the mid-90s as the Labour leader, people began to listen. This was a man who'd identified the problems with socialism being the obvious headline, namely that it's entirely a hopeless, meaningless and ultimately bullying form of governing, which simply masquerades as a form of being kinder politics. None of that was true. Blair spotted it. Socialism was never that, of course, and never will be. Blair wasn't the first to realise all of this, but he was the first to do something about it and change the face of his party. This is the point. Hugh Gateskill gave it a go back in 1959, for goodness sake, with the Clause 4 debacle. But it failed, and Blair actually did that nearly 4 decades later. Now, there were many other policies under Blair, of course, that followed: his approach to strike action, his approach to privatisation, even including parts of the NHS. And although Tony Blair did eventually go doolally in the desert with a bunch of weapons, we know about that, and a narcissistic desire to be a global face on the political map, in terms of domestic Labour policies, he was a game changer. And that can never be undone. Now, let's fast forward to Keir Starmer, who's none of these things. He's not ideologically linked to anything. When it comes to comparisons with 1997, he's nowhere close. He doesn't even get on the subs bench on this. But his desire for power is at any cost at all. That burning furnace of political ambition sits ready to explode in the pit of his middle-class belly. We know this. He'll say anything to anyone to plonk that North London butt into the number 10 chair. That's what he's aiming for. I did see a story recently. He was spotted down at Fads buying wallpaper for the Downing Street flat. A reference for the kids there. But what we do know for sure is that his philosophical approach to being head boy is so bereft of moral intellect that he's willing to bring in one of the most right-wing Tories as part of his team, even to pose for the cameras and give a little smile as well. He's all right with that. Let's remind ourselves, Natalie Elphicke makes Nigel Farage look like Jeremy Corbyn. This is the woman who defended her sex-offending husband and then tried to influence a judge before he was sent to jail. That's what I call a naughty Tory. Apparently, just what the Labour Party needs, we are told. But this discussion is not about some boneheaded simpleton of a Tory backbencher. This is about Keir Starmer. What does this man stand for? Seriously, as part of the great and growing political homeless, which I am, why would I vote for Keir? What is his message? What is his ideology? How will he significantly differ from Sunak and the Tories? So much so that he's worth voting for.